Hi, this is Sinead. I'll be doing a series of interviews with regards to system manifestations that exist in the physical. That is one of the primary causes of physical pain experienced by human beings today. Now, these system manifestations are parts of the mind consciousness system that are duplicates of the mind consciousness system that infused itself into and as the physical, that form part of that which you live, that which you function through, and that which you exist as of the mind. Now, these system manifestations exist in various parts within the human physical body and are indicated through pain experienced in the physical, because these system manifestations literally infuse and amalgamate themselves into, through and as the muscle tissue, the blood, the veins, the skin, and has literal hooks that penetrate into the whole physical body, and that penetration of the system manifestation is what is the cause of pain, or the experience of pain that humans have. So pain experienced in the physical body is not just pain. It is a system design of the mind within which you exist, that you've created and designed and are currently living as yourself. And the human body is assisting you through pain to show to you or indicate to you that, hey, there's a problem here, have a look, pay attention. So pain can be seen as a gift, so to speak, for self, in terms of the physical's support in showing you to yourself in what you're accepting and allowing. Alright, so we'll start with an example of system manifestations, and I'll start with what they look like in terms of their structural design. Now, all system manifestations in their structural design exist in the form of a triangle. 3 points, and these 3 points are usually at 3 different placements within the human physical body. For example, let's say, I'll start with when a being experiences pain. Let's say you experience pain, for example, in just above your left ovary. And let's just draw the physical body. I'm just going to draw an outline. Can you see that point? Not. Okay. Let's use an... Alright, so I'll start with the physical human body. So, let's say here's a being. And the being experienced pain just above the left ovary. Alright, now, a system manifestation within the physical, as I've said, has 3 points. The pain you experience at a particular point within your physical human body is the centralized source point of the total system manifestation. It is not the actual point. It is the outflow point that manifests of the entire triangular formation. So, now you sit with yourself and you experience this pain, and it's quite intense. Now realize that that pain you experience is not the point. There are 3 other points you have to allocate within the physical human body to see the total system manifestation that exists in the triangular structural design. So a suggestion would be to, for example, when you experience pain, lie down. If you're during your day experience pain and you're at work and you can't in that very moment lie down somewhere, in the evening after you've done your day, it's done, finished, take a moment for yourself, lie down, and let's say access the pain again from the perspective of being here. You lie comfortably on your bed, you breathe, you access that pain again, you see where it was, where it is, and that's your primary focus point first. You focus on the pain. the original first pain you experienced. You lie down, you breathe. No thoughts. No particular feeling. In essence, all you want to have exist in that moment is you with this pain as your physical, and that's it. Now, to be able to identify the other 3 points of the entire system manifestation that you're currently working with, you have to experience or be in tune with your physical, meaning you have to really focus you here and just be with your physical in breath, and that's it. And in that, you will, some of the pains might be very slight, some might be very prominent, but you'll most certainly experience 3 other points than the original pain that you experienced the first time. So, as you're lying with yourself in bed, as the physical, just breathing, and you move yourself in your physical, meaning you're here, you breathe, and you look for yourself, okay, as I'm here, lying with me, as the physical, breathing, where else do I experience pain in my physical body? Alright, now you're lying down, you're breathing, you're with your physical here, you have this pain that you're experiencing, and now you're allocating the 3 other points. Alright, so let's say, for example, the first point you experience just behind the left shoulder blade. Okay, that's point 1. The second point you experience in your solar plexus. Alright. Third point you experience, for example, in your, just above or within your left buttocks. Okay, so now you've identified the 3 points. Now if you have a look, you're able to connect these 3 points, and there you have your triangular formation, which is the structural design of the system manifestation. Now, if you have a look here, your original pain would be, for example, somewhere in the center of this whole structural manifestation of the system. Because understand that the pain you experience is, as I've said, the outflow of this entire system manifestation. The outflow is the physical effect it creates, which is the pain you experience. The total system manifestation is what it exists as, has got 3 points that encircle the original pain you experience, firstly. So, now you've got and identified the 3 points. Then I suggest, do this for yourself. Have a piece of paper with you, a pen. Draw an outline of your physical body, as I've done here. Draw the 3 points out for yourself, with the original point that will always be, and you'll find it's always in the center. It'll always form a triangular formation with the original pain you experience in the center. Then, you take this triangle as it is there, and you literally just turn it at an angle so that you have your triangular formation there with the center pain point that you originally experienced in the center over there. Then you write down for yourself, right, point 1 was the left shoulder. Then you have point 2, which you experienced, which was your solar plexus. And then point 3, which would be your left buttocks. Alright. Now, here I suggest utilizing, for example, the structural resonance documents that Bino has written, that is available on the Desteni Universe website. Within those documents is discussed at a greater perspective scale what each point within your human physical body indicate. Now, left shoulder would be, for example, indicating limitation. Solar plexus, you have fear, constriction, for example. and your left buttocks, you're looking at power. It's just a very vast example of what those points could indicate. Now, if you want to be more specific, the solar plexus you always find is linked to emotions and feelings. So as you're lying down and you do find a point that exists in your solar plexus, have a look at what you're experiencing within that point, what emotion, what feeling comes up, and then when you write down the point for yourself, you write down the emotion and the feeling that comes up. All right. Next. Now you have a look for yourself. You write down the words: limitation, power, fear, constriction. Okay, let's write it down over here. Limitation, power, fear, and constriction. Okay. Alright. What you find interesting about a system manifestation is that it functions in a clockwise cycle. So, your first point you're looking at is your limitation, moving through to power, fear, and constriction. This is the cycle in which the system manifestation of the mind is moving inside your physical body. Your origin point is limitation. So this is what has been the origin or the cause of this system design. Your second point, which is your left shoulder, which is power, is your consequence. Alright? And then you have your third point as your solar plexus, which is the fear and constriction, which is the physical flow out of the consequence. So this is how a system design, which is the manifestation in the physical, literally play out. You have your original cause, which is the original point that you accepted and allowed within yourself that created this entire system manifestation or design. Then you have your consequence, which is the consequence that manifested because of that acceptance and allowance within self. Then you have your physical flow out of the consequence, which is your manifestation, manifested consequence, which is the physical experience of the consequence you accepted and allowed that was created by the origin or cause point as limitation. Now, next point. You have a look at asking yourself the following questions. Firstly, we're looking at the first point as limitation. Alright? Now you move on to the question part. Where or how am I accepting or allowing limitation? Next point was power. Now you'll find an interesting thing. Here common sense is required. If you look at limitation, now what would you, for example, within limitation allow is inferiority. The experience within limitation is inferiority. And to, for example, substitute that inferiority experience within yourself, you'd want to present yourself as being superior, to balance that accepted and allowed inferiority of self. So power then would be the polarity of limitation or inferiority as superiority. Then where or how am I accepting or allowing superiority to substitute for inferiority. Okay, then you have your next point, which was fear and constriction, which link back to the limitation point. Is if we look at the triangle again, limitation, power, fear, and constriction. So the fear and constriction is directly linked to the limitation as inferiority. Then you have a look at asking yourself, where or how am I accepting or allowing fear and constriction that manifest limitation. Alright, so ask yourself these questions and have a look specifically within your world, practically, where and how you're accepting and allowing these points. Okay, let's first go back. So this is over here. Limitation. Where and how am I accepting and allowing limitation? Let's say, for example, you're a musician, and in being a musician, you like a particular specific sound, and that sound is the only sound that you're able to make, to play, to produce, and that sound is the only sound you're sticking to, because that's how you've defined yourself as, only to that sound. Now, you will not explore any other sound but that one sound you're producing, because you've defined yourself to that one sound, and that's it. That's who you are, that's how I am, and that's all I can do. That's a statement you're living. In that, you're in essence accepting and allowing limitation, because you're not willing to push yourself to explore making different sounds. In that, you're accepting and allowing yourself to give your power away to limitation. And in that giving your power away, you accept and allow yourself to manifest fear and constriction, because you're limiting yourself, and that limitation, that fear and constriction is actually existing within you because you believe that what you can do is all you can do and you can do nothing more. And to that living statement or expression, you're remaining. In essence, creating little space for yourself, where you're saying, I will not go beyond this sound, this one sound I'm making. This is who I am, this is what I am, this is what I'll be existing as, and all the other sounds in existence that exist is here, but you refuse to go there, because you've defined yourself as this entire system manifestation, as limitation, giving your power weight to limitation, manifesting fear and constriction towards all other sounds that exist. Because of fear of exploring you. Because fear of pushing yourself beyond your limitations. Fear of pushing yourself beyond that which you perceive you can only do. So, that's example of how you, for yourself, can see where in your world you're limiting yourself, giving your power away to that limitation, which is manifesting constant fear and constriction in relation to that point that you're accepting and allowing yourself to exist in. And thus, in essence, manifesting you as limitation. And you'll find that within many fields, many areas within your life experience, in that which you're practically doing, that which you're practically living. Even, for example, with communicating with beings, another simple practical point. I'm certain many, if not all beings in this world, experience that point of constriction and fear when approaching new people that's entering their world, or when you're entering other people's world. There's that immediate fear and constriction experience, and in essence you have accepted and allowed the point of fear of speaking to people, fear of expressing you with people. Then in that, what happens is you're limiting you in accepting and allowing that fear towards other people, thus giving your power away to that limitation. See, this whole system manifestation design then becomes a total one system. As you're continuing to live this the whole time, over and over and over again, what inevitably happens is all of this that you experience become a literal conglomeration as an energy, as an energetically charged manifestation. And in that, it starts infusing into and as your physical, and you become it to such an extent that you don't even see it, that you don't even realize that, hey, I actually fear speaking to people. And at that stage, this whole system manifestation that originally was created just by accepting and allowing one point becomes you in totality. It could have simply been one thought that you had in one moment, that was in the past, related to a past experience where you spoke to someone and that someone just suddenly went, ah, and you experienced that fear and constriction, and you gave your power away to that point of believing that you had done something wrong to this person or to this being that was new in your world, and they just blew off at you. And since that moment, you've kept that memory inside yourself and lived it over and over and over again. Every time you see a new person, that memory pops up inside you, and you immediately go into limitation, fear, constriction, giving your power away to that accepted and allowed limitation. And as I've said, you live it, you live it, you live it over and over and over again. This whole system that in essence starts with a triangular formation becomes an energetic ball, literally starts looking like this. In that entire space in your physical where we drew that triangular formation. And then it expands and expands and expands and integrates and amalgamates into your whole physicality. And the moment that happens, manifested in your physical human body, you become it. Completely taken over, literally, by that fear, by that limitation, constantly giving your power away. Alright. So, that's just two practical examples of how to identify or work with system manifestations in the physical when pain is experienced. Now, here's another interesting point. The original pain that you experienced it in the left ovary. That's your solution. The central point of this entire system manifestation will be, let's say, the solution. What is to be lived, practically applied by self to stop this point, to stop the system manifestation itself. Understand that it is required to be lived practically in every moment. Every moment you face that point of limitation, fear, constriction, when you're giving your power away to this whole system manifestation, it is to self-correct you practically and stop it in the moment. Because in essence, how have you created this? Through accepting and allowing it in moments, every moment, always, every time you met new people, every time you heard another sound, but you only stick with the sound you can produce because you believe that's all that you can do. And the only way, as I've said, to diffuse yourself, to release yourself from this entire design that you've believed and perceived yourself to be, is practical application, self-honesty, self-forgiveness, every moment. Alright, as I've said, the original pain is your solution. Why and how does that work? So, the original pain was experienced in the left ovary. The left ovary. Alright, now the ovaries, because it's left, indicate expression. So you're looking at self-expression. Alright, what is self-expression? Self-expression is allowing self to expand self. We're looking at expansion. Self-expression is, let's call it free. What I mean by free is that it's not defined by anything or anyone within this world or reality. It's you. You are this expression, in fact. And in that, you're free of definition from the perspective that, for example, in meeting new people, you'd walk up to them, say, this is me, this is who I am, and express you. That's expression. That's not accepting and allowing you to be defined by others, constantly worrying, should I be this way? Should I maybe talk that way? Oh, should I have dressed this way? Oh my goodness, look at my shoes. How are their shoes? Are they going to judge me? Should I judge me? You know, all those thoughts and ideas and perceptions and beliefs come up when meeting new people, and there are many more. Within self-expression, that doesn't exist because you accept you. So here, acceptance. That's right. Self-acceptance. And what is expansion? It's expand on expansion a bit. Breaking boundaries. Pushing beyond limitations. Alright. As an example of how that original pain point is actually the point that is indicating the solution that's required to be lived, to assist and support self, to diffuse this entire system manifestation. Why is it the solution? Because that point indicates the entire system manifestation's charge, that which is charging it. In other words, this is what you're not doing that is in essence causing the whole system manifestation of limitation. You're not allowing yourself to express yourself, you're not allowing yourself to expand yourself, you're not allowing yourself to break boundaries, to push beyond limitations, to allow yourself to be free from definition, to accept yourself. And because of those, you are accepting and allowing the existence of you as a system manifestation of and as limitation. So that which you're not doing is the solution to be lived. That is indicated by the original pain point that you experienced. Okay, what else? Alright, realize that system manifestations are always related to the past. System designs, the entire mind consciousness system is past manifest. So, if you're able to, maybe sit down as you're identifying this whole system manifestation as I've explained for yourself. You look at can you find the memory? Can you find what past experience you've had where you allowed this limitation within yourself? And accordingly, apply self-forgiveness, because you allocate that past memory, that past experience for yourself, apply self-forgiveness, diffuse the whole, let's say, origin point placement from which this whole system manifestation that you've discovered or found within yourself originated from. And then accordingly walk the practical corrective action, practical corrective application in every moment. That's all you always have, is the moment that you live, that you're here, as you participate in this world. Alright, that's all I have. As one example, I may do some more. We'll have a look at the feedback and see where we can specify, be more practical, and give more examples so that you can assist and support yourself to stop accepted and allowed system, to stop existing as system manifestations that only function through 3 points. That's related to a past experience you've had that's controlling everything and all of you and about you. That's, for example, you're not allowing yourself to simply express yourself, accept yourself, be here as yourself because of one memory. That from that one memory that you've kept inside yourself has cycled and cycled and cycled into this whole physical experience that you've become, that you're living out, and only manifesting consequences and compromises for yourself. Alright, thank you very much. This is Sned.